Getting us started this Monday, a caravan of migrants is now about 5,000 strong and on the move again after passing a blockade at Mexico's southern border. They are determined to make it to the U.S. to seek asylum, despite President Trump's warning that they will be turned away. Most are traveling on foot, though some have scrambled onto cars, trucks, and motorcycles. More than 24 people are recovering after a floor collapsed during a party near Clemson University over the weekend. At least 30 people were taken to hospitals, 25 of them Clemson students. The building's management company says the complex has no violations they are aware of, but it appears they were well over the occupancy limit. Turkey is getting ready to release details of its investigation into the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi just a few days after Saudi Arabia laid out its own version of events. CBS's Laura Podesta has the latest from New York.
The president of Turkey is promising to release details of his country's investigation into the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi tomorrow, saying it will be revealed in all its nakedness. Over the weekend, Saudi Arabia released its version of what happened, that Khashoggi died during a fistfight with officials in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October 2nd.
Individuals who did this outside the scope of their authority. There obviously was a tremendous mistake made, and what compounded the mistake was the attempt to try to cover up.
The foreign minister told Fox News Channel it was a rogue operation and said Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was never involved.
The Saudis have said a whole bunch of crap that's not right, accurate, or true. You don't bring a bone saw to an accidental fist fight.
For 3 weeks, the Saudis had denied any involvement and at one point claimed Khashoggi left the consulate later that day. The shifting explanations have drawn international criticism.
The Crown Prince has his fingerprints all over this, and the fact that he is heading up the investigation makes it totally incredible.
Britain, Germany, and France issued a joint statement pressing for clarification of exactly what happened.
I'll be speaking to him soon, very soon.
President Trump told the Washington Post the Saudi stories are all over the place, but added he would love if the Crown Prince was not responsible. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
President Trump has refused to halt a $110 billion arms sale to Saudi Arabia, though is considering sanctions against those found responsible for Khashoggi's death. In Missoula, a man wanted for double murder is now behind bars. Missoula County Sheriff T.J. McDermott says 27-year-old Jonathan Whitworth was arrested around 11:45 Sunday morning without incident near the Missoula International Airport. The sheriff's office received reports of Whitworth riding a bike in that area. Whitworth was on the run since early Friday after 2 people were found shot to death at a Missoula hotel. An accidental fire claimed the life of one person in a Billings home over the weekend. The fire was reported at 2202 2nd Avenue North at 11:47 Saturday night. Deputy Fire Marshal Andrew McLean said the cause of the fire was ruled accidental, but details on exactly how the fire started or what happened have not been released. McLean also reports there was an estimated $6,000 in damages, the kitchen and attic, with moderate smoke damage throughout the home. Q2 has reached out to the Yellowstone County coroner for the victim's name and official cause of death, but it has not been released. Well, before we take a break, it's one of those old houses in Missoula that catches your eye and makes you wonder who lives there, when was it built, and what does it look like inside? MTN's Joe Valley got the answers to those questions and in the process learned even more about this storied mansion in Missoula.
It's been here about as long as Montana's been a state, and she has weathered the years beautifully. The Raymond House on Raymond Avenue in Missoula's historic Rattlesnake District was built around 1896. It still has original stained glass and the woodwork with a curved staircase and a library and wonderful detail. And it's for sale for about $2 million.
I think this could be a variety of different family situations just because there's so much space. So you could definitely do multi-generational situation. There's a guest house that you could have someone live in. And then there's just lots of room.
5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, a wine cellar, a mother-in-law apartment, and more, all on 3 beautifully groomed city lots. Recent upgrades carefully match the modern with the mature to seamlessly merge the centuries. There is no doubt people lived and loved in this grand house that captures the imagination of those who wander by.
It's brought a lot of interest from people in and out of state that are just very curious about it. We've had a couple of, wedding planners reach out asking if there was any way they could come here. We've had photographers reach out asking if they could do kids shots here, So it's a home that I think is kind of iconic for Missoula, just in its uniqueness.
But I wanted to know more about the history of this house. The real estate literature and an old newspaper article I found mentioned it was a mail order home. Now, back in the day, Sears owned that market, but they didn't start offering catalog homes until 1908. This house was already built. So I had to start digging and find out if this house really was a catalog home, and if so, where did it come from? After a trip to the Missoula County Records Department, where I got a list of the house's owners for the past 120 years, I Googled old Victorian homes of the late 1800s. And after pages and pages of images comparing this house to the other pictures, I finally found this Queen Anne home in Oregon. They call it the Drain Castle. Look closely, that's the same architecture as the Raymond House. So the plot thickens here. Using that photo, we discovered the Drain Castle was designed by George Franklin Barber, an American architect who marketed his designs through a series of mail-order catalogs. He's considered one of the most successful domestic architects of the late Victorian period in the United States. We even found one of his catalogs online called The Cottage Souvenir No. 2. Scrolling through the house plans, we found design number 37. And there it was, the Raymond House. And there's more. A list of Barber-designed homes included the Brooks Hotel in Corvallis, also using plan number 37. So after all that research, what does it all mean? Well, it really is a catalog home, and it's part of its history. And that could be a story for the next family that calls this historic house their home. In Missoula, Jill Valley, MTN News.
And the Raymond Avenue home looks bigger due to additions over the years, but the main house remains unchanged. The house is also sometimes called the Pennypacker Mansion. Barber himself encouraged people to ask for customized changes to their plans to make their homes perfect.